JD Vance hopes to join this November's red tsunami and become Ohio's next senator, and his first campaign ad features a very special member of his team.
Our family story is an Ohio story. My husband JD grew up in Middletown, and things weren't easy. His mom struggled with addiction, and his dad wasn't there. But JD was lucky. He was raised by his loving grandmother, and he served his country as a Marine in Iraq. He's an incredible father, and he's my best friend. JD shared his family story in Hillbilly Elegy, and he wants for Ohio what Ohio gave him, a fighting chance.
I'm JD Vance, and I approve this message.
JD and Usha Vance join me now. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
So glad that you could both be with us tonight. And Usha, I'd love to start with you. Like I said a moment ago, of course, behind every great man is an even greater woman, but it's not often that they're the stars of a political ad. So tell us what made you want to get involved?
Well, it's not every day someone asks you to introduce your husband to the whole state. And I thought, a lot of people know JD as an author. They know him as an investor. They know him as a politician now. But I know a different side of him, and I just wanted to share that with people.
Well, JD, I know that your family is obviously very important to you. This ad highlights that. A lot of people are familiar with your upbringing, a humble upbringing from your memoir, the movie adaptation, Hillbilly Elegy. How do you feel that the struggles that you went through growing up will help you lead in the U.S. Senate?
Well, Jenna, I think it gives me a perspective on what a lot of people are struggling with. And so, when inflation goes up and people can't afford food or they can't afford gas, I think I don't just know this because I see the statistics. I know this because I actually felt this when I was growing up. And I also just think that we want to be the sort of state, we want to be the sort of country where kids who grow up in tough circumstances, where they weren't given everything, can actually achieve the American dream. And I think that's, of course, what Ohio gave to me. And hopefully, if we take back the Senate and get some better policies in Washington, D.C., we can give that to a broader group of people in the state of Ohio.
And I think as we saw in yesterday's primary, Americans just want somebody who represents them and what they want to see in leadership in this country. I mean, Usha, obviously your husband, he's in the spotlight quite a bit. That'll only continue as the election season goes on. But is there anything that you're seeing in the media? There's a lot of fake news out there. Anything perhaps that the media gets wrong about him and you'd like to perhaps set the record straight?
Yeah, well, sometimes people say that he's changed a lot, but the truth is I've known him now for so many years, and he's always been so true to himself. The JD that I met back when we were in law school is the JD that I'm sitting next to, right now. He cares about the same people that he's cared about. He's had the same values and the same priorities, and he really loves his family and community, and that's why we're here right now.
Well, it's an exciting time in politics right now. And before we have to let you go, JD, I, of course, have to ask you about that big defeat yesterday of Liz Cheney in Wyoming. What do you think about the impact that this is going to have on the party? Do you believe the rumors we're hearing right now that she might run for president in 2024?
I don't know, and I doubt that many people would support her. I think the very simple message is that, people, whether they're in Wyoming or Ohio, they want their leaders to actually represent them, to listen to them, and to take their interest before Washington, D.C. And I think that a lot of Wyoming residents felt that Liz Cheney wasn't doing that. Frankly, I think a lot of Ohio residents feel like Tim Ryan doesn't do that here in Ohio. So we've got to do a better job. We've got to do better by our constituents and by the people who elect us. That's what I'm going to try to do, and I think that's the message the Republican Party should take to heart.
I love it. Well, Usha and JD Vance, really an honor to have both of you here tonight. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jenna.